Hello everybody, my name is Christine and welcome to today's video. And I realize I've been wearing this shirt a lot in videos recently, and that's because it's one of my newer graphic tees, and when I get a new one, I tend to wear it a lot because it's new and exciting and I like it. Haley is at work and my three boys are building an epic blanket and pillow fort downstairs on my sectional. So it's quiet in the kitchen and I thought it would be the perfect time to record a couple of snacks for you guys. And let me kind of get into why. So I don't know how many I'm gonna end up making. I have 3 definitely that I wanna make, perhaps 4 if I have enough time. I have not purchased store-bought snacks in a couple of months, maybe 2 months. We've been out of granola bars and protein bars. Aside from tortilla chips, I don't really buy chips. And we've been low on crackers for a long time. Our snacks are typically like eat some oranges, have a yogurt, get a string cheese with an apple, banana and peanut butter. But I wanted to mix it up a little bit and give some variety for my kids. So today I'm gonna prep some snacks and test out some things for our new summer vacation, which I will share very, very soon for you guys. It's gonna be epic, it's gonna be amazing. It's very like outdoorsy and away from the people. Because it's physically challenging, we need to be able to take food with us. First thing I am making today is a 4-ingredient protein bar. Before I actually show you how to do them, you have to make these. You have to make these. These are so delicious. So if you like peanut butter, you need to make these. I made them for one of Haley's volleyball tournaments, like last fall or last year, and the whole team was like, oh, give my mom the recipe, give my mom the recipe. The whole team like ate Haley's protein bars. Keep in mind, because these are snacks and they are meant to fuel athletes, like the protein bars and these little like rice cake portable containers are meant for endurance athletes. These are not going to be low calorie. These will most likely not be low carb. So if that's what you're looking for, this is not for you. They are all homemade things. So if you wanna do snacks that are homemade for your kids or athletes and your family, you might like these. So here's the 4 ingredients for the protein bars. Of course, every recipe will be down below. We have peanut butter, obviously. Typically go with creamy peanut butter, but if you're feeling a little saucy, crunchy peanut butter is totally acceptable. And today we're feeling a little spicy. So that's what we're doing. 2 cups of peanut butter in a large glass bowl. 1 3/4 cup of honey. I buy my honey locally. It's like local raw honey. And I've actually found you can get a better price doing it this way. I'm a huge fan of local raw honey if you can get it in your area. Mix our honey and peanut butter. Actually, I'm not even gonna mix them yet. I'm just going to stick this whole bowl with these 2 items in the microwave for about 90 seconds, and then we will add our other 2 ingredients out of the microwave. And I'm not even gonna stir it yet. I will add my next ingredient first before I stir, and it's gonna be 2 1/4 cups of a vanilla protein powder. It basically doesn't matter which one you use. Pick one you like and use that one. I enjoy using this brand for this recipe because this protein powder, the brand, is not that sweet. Some other ones can be very, very sweet. And then you have like the sweetness of the honey and the like overwhelming sweetness of your protein powder, and it's a lot. I actually have a hard time just drinking it as a plain shake because it's really on the like non-sweet side. This is a great application for it, and I can use it up and get it out of my pantry. Okay, 2 1/4 cups of your protein powder. I think I got this off of Amazon, but I don't recommend that one. If you want one that's good, I'm a huge fan of Cellucor as a brand. I feel like all of theirs taste really good. Sorry about the water, my dishwasher is going right now. It's time to add a little elbow grease and give it some whiskey business. All mixed together. Wow, my like angle is so crooked now. The last ingredient, and it's quick oats. Only 1 cup, and we're gonna stir it all together. Spread it out in our pan, and it does actually store in the fridge. So there's no baking here. It's totally easy. You're just gonna let it harden and keep in the fridge, because if you pull it out, it'll get super, super soft, and you want it to not be super, super soft. So I'm just like stirring the oats in right now. Okay, so you know that I just told you about the elbow grease. I gotta tell you a story. This is so funny. A couple weeks ago, when my mom was coming to stay so she could check on the progress of her house, I told my boys they had to go clean the bathroom downstairs because she was gonna be using the bathroom downstairs. I'm like, scrub the shower, you know, clean the toilet, all the things. So they're all down there playing most of the time, but they are cleaning a little. And Tyler goes up and he's like, what do I need to clean the shower? And I said, you need Comet, a rag or a scrubby, and some elbow grease. And he goes, okay. So he goes off to find the things, and he comes back with the Comet and a rag. Goes, okay, Mom, what does the elbow grease look like? Where do you keep it? I cracked up laughing. I was like, you know what? Dad knows where it is. Go ask him. So he walks over to Dave and he's like, hey Dad, where does Mom keep the elbow grease? And he cracks up laughing. It's a good day when you teach your kids what elbow grease means. It was so funny. Here it is all mixed. And I have a 9x13 glass pan oiled with whatever. I just did cooking spray. And you're gonna pour all of this in here and just kind of spread it out. You may have to get your hands in there. Because this is fairly sticky, if you get your hands a little bit wet with cold water, it'll spread way easier. But if you have athletes that do tournaments and stuff like Haley does, this is a great option. So I'm gonna pop that with saran wrap and stick it in the fridge. Our next snack is going to be the Pioneer Woman's fruit bars. And it is more of a dessert than a snack. However, if you are buying your kids granola bars, the like fruit cereal bars by Kellogg's, that's essentially what this is. I mean, you could wrap this up and sell it as like a fruit bar. And it might be the same nutritional information as the pre-packaged Nutri-Grain bars. You can feed your kids whatever you want, but let's call it a spade a spade. For this snack slash dessert, we're starting with 1 3/4 sticks of cold butter. We're gonna add a bunch of stuff to it and cut it together with a pastry blender. This is mine. I picked it up off of Amazon. It's OXO brand. It's amazing. It's like, I don't know if it's actually made of steel, but it feels like it's made of steel. It's a beast of a thing. So I'll leave this linked down below. We have equal measurements of flour and oatmeal, 1.5 cups of each that I will add to my butter here. If you're vegetarian, or I guess you can have butter if you're vegetarian. If you're vegan or maybe dairy-free, maybe sub shortening. Is that a good exchange? I am no pro, so you are more than welcome to tell me if I'm wrong. 1 cup of brown sugar, which is basically my favorite sugar. You know, sometimes the Pioneer Woman's a little irritating, like 1 1/4 teaspoon of salt. What's that about? Why can't we just do like heaping teaspoon? There we go. 1 1/4. What would happen if you only did 1? What would happen if you did 1.5? Try it and tell me. Okay, I'm gonna cut all this together and like this is the hard part. And then we're almost done. Have cut all of the fat and everything else together. Should be pretty crumbly. And you should do a 9x13, but I already used that for my protein bars. So I'll use 2 of these instead. Half of this is going to be on the bottom. I'm eyeballing this. It'll be good, it's fine. It's all good. And we're gonna mush it down with our fingers. This is crucial. Really, really push it down or you are going to be hating life in a second. Trust me. And I don't know if you guys are fans of the Pioneer Woman and her recipes. I'm half and half. Some of her recipes are very delicious and some are kind of meh for me. And this is one of the ones that's very, very delicious. Okay, that looks nice and firm. These are gonna be the most boring snacks ever, but not if we jam it.
Not if we jam it. Aha!
Next up, you are going to add 12 ounces of your favorite jam. I'm going with a homemade jam because that's all I have in my house. If you guys haven't seen any of my jam making videos, I'll leave some of them linked down below. They're mostly old, so if they're cringy, I'm very sorry. But I've been making homemade jam for my family for over 10 years. And this is raspberries. I actually grow raspberries in my backyard. So we grew these ourselves. 100% organic, locally sourced, no preservatives, raspberry jam. And the reason I like to use raspberry is because I don't like raspberry, which means I'm not going to be tempted to eat any of these. The wheels are always turning. Here's a little tippy tip for you. If you stick this in the microwave for a few seconds to thin it out, it'll spread a lot easier. If you are using a 9x13, just pour the whole thing in the whole thing, but I gotta go half and half here. So not a fan of raspberry. I think the first time I ever made this, I used strawberry and I could not stop eating these. They are so yummy. Spread this into all of the edges, nice and thin layer. It's like a homemade Nutri-Grain bar multiplied with a toaster strudel, but better. Oh, I don't know, toaster strudels are pretty bomb. You have to smush down the bottom part because if you try and spread the jam on non-smushed dough, it will be a big crummy mess. Pun intended. Oh, see, I must have not pushed that one down enough. Oh no, no, go, oh. Fail, total fail. Why do I make videos? Oh my gosh, okay. Well, if you mess up too, you're not alone. We can be freaks together. Oh, man. Dang it. Oh, no. Make it stop. Okay. Okay, now we're going to add the rest of this on top. Okay. Give it a little sprinkly sprinkle. It doesn't work very good. Okay, pat this down a little bit as well. So you see what we're doing? We're having like a buttery, flaky crust on bottom and on top with a delicious fruity layer in the middle. If you make this for your friends, they'll be like, oh my gosh, you're a master. And you can say, I know. My oven has been preheating this whole time. These are going to go in a 350 degree oven for 30 to 40 minutes. You just want them to be golden brown on top. Here are my fruit bars. They're still cooling. They're pretty warm. I would recommend waiting until they're cool all the way, even though you want to dig into them right now. I will say the crust smells really good, but once these are cool, you can cut them all up into squares. I'm gonna get all these cut up and stored away, and I'll see you back here in like 2 seconds. Let's move on to the next set of snacks. I've never made them before. So, but don't run away, okay? Don't go away yet. Here's the deal. I've said before, I'm an endurance athlete. I do marathons, triathlons, they're very, very long, and you need to refuel during the event without upsetting your stomach because of the exercise. Carbs, a lot of the time, is the name of the game. Our big summer vacation that we're doing, are you ready? Are you ready to hear? My whole family is gonna go ride the Mickelson Trail in South Dakota. I will leave information down below, but basically it's a 100-mile rails to trails, and we're gonna do it all on mountain bikes, and we're gonna do the whole 100 miles over the course of several days. So because we're riding even as young as an 8-year-old for several hours a day, because the little ones are fairly slow. So it's gonna be at least 3 hours of bike riding a day for several days. We need to carry basically our lunch and snacks with us, and then we'll eat dinner at the town we get to when we get there. But my sister-in-law got me this book for Christmas, Feed Zone Portables, specifically designed food on the go for athletes. So if you guys are interested in something like this, if you do this kind of thing, I will leave a link to this book down below. I'm sure you can find it on Amazon. I haven't looked, but I'm pretty sure you can. And the first thing we're gonna do are these cinnamon apple rice cakes. There's very few ingredients, and what I like about this and what I'm trying to transition into is homemade snacks and fuel during my workouts instead of shooting a goo, gel, Cliff shot blocks, or something processed in a lab. I want to try out the homemade ones. Do they taste good? Do they fuel me appropriately? And I know exactly what's going in them. So I'm just trying to shift a little bit into something different. And honestly, they'll be a heck of a lot cheaper than trying to buy all of these specialty products for athletes instead. I'm gonna start with my Instant Pot and cooking my rice. Most of the recipes in this book call for sticky rice. So that's what I have here. I haven't looked for a really, really good price on a bulk amount of it yet, but at Walmart, this 5-pound bag is about $4.50. So it's okay, it's cheaper than basmati rice, which is my favorite rice, but still not as cheap as short grain rice. But you are gonna want something that's very, very sticky like this so they'll hold together. So we have 3 cups of the rice and 4.5 cups of water in my Instant Pot, and we're just gonna cook it at our regular rice method. 6 minutes high, natural release for 8, fluff it with a fork. Here is my sticky rice in this bowl. And what I like about snacks, I guess you could say out of this book, is there's very few ingredients for most of them. And to this, we are gonna add 1 diced apple, the juice of 1 lemon, and some raw sugar. That's it. Okay. Only 2 tablespoons of this raw sugar. That is not very much for the amount of rice that's in here. My mom gave me this raw sugar. I don't know where she got it. I'm assuming she got it from Costco, but I would imagine most stores would have a raw sugar. Actually, I don't know the difference between a raw sugar and then just like a regular sugar. I would imagine you could use any sugar, but it says raw sugar. I had it in my pantry. We're using it. And we will do 1 diced Fuji apple because that's what I have. All right, here's my bowl of rice and sugar and apples. That sounds so weird. All I'm gonna do now is stir this up so it's incorporated. What I've learned from cooking, sometimes I just need to go with my gut. And I think it needs 1 more apple. Okay, that looks pretty stirred around-ish. Hey, you're supposed to use a 9x13 glass dish, but mine's already taken. And it'll be fine. It's a 9x13 too, it's just metal. It's totally good, totally good. Cold water in your hands. Okay, that way it'll work really well. So I'm really gonna mush it. It will be easier to slice and carry around, right? Because it's supposed to be portable. Last up, we will top it with cinnamon and a little bit more of that raw sugar. I love cinnamon, like a lot. So maybe you don't wanna go this dark on your cinnamon. Ooh, yeah, that smells so good. And it does say to top with another 2 tablespoons of the raw sugar. So I will go with the measurement and kind of see how we go. That's 1 tablespoon up one side, 2 tablespoons, and a little bit of sprinkle of salt on top too, which I think will be nice because it'll cut the sweetness just a little bit. And when you do a lot of endurance stuff, you actually do want to replenish your electrolytes if you're sweating quite a bit. So salty is always a good thing. I'm a big fan of pickles after like a hard sweaty run. It says to let them sit and harden. This is very, very warm. So I'm basically gonna stick it in the fridge and let it cool all the way before I cut it into squares. So you'll cut it into squares and then wrap it in wax paper and foil or foil potentially, so it can be a little carry along with you. This is the little rice cake. They do call them apple cinnamon rice cakes. These are good. These are really, really good. I think I just found my new favorite thing to eat almost every day before I go run, because I don't like running on a totally empty stomach, but I can't have that much or I get a stomach ache. I've been eating like a honey stinger waffle, but they're expensive. They're almost $2 each, or a piece of toast with just butter. This I think I can do. So Dave and I both tried it, and Andrew, and he loved it as well. And the hint of salt on top is a super nice contrast. My only problem is I can't figure out how to wrap them up. So this one, I have tape all over it. I don't know if that's gonna work. This one, I tried to wrap at an angle so I could like fold it over more, and then I didn't cover this end. This one is double wrapped, so it's wrapped on the inside and then again on the outside, and there's tape. And so I don't feel like my wrapping job on any of these is well done. Let's talk about the fruit bars. I cut them up and put them in this Tupperware, so you can just leave them on the counter or in the fridge. They'll last longer there, but my kids already ate 5. Which is why I made so many in one day. These are spectacular. So if you don't like raspberry, like I don't, like I'm not gonna eat any of these because raspberry is meant for me. But if I had put a strawberry or a grape jelly, homemade of course, or a cherry or something else, I would have totally dug into these. They're just amazing. I highly recommend it. My next experiment from the Fuel book that I lost, oh, it's over here. So these are gonna be baked rice balls. Kind of mix them together similar to the rice cakes, but we mold them into balls and then bake them. There's a ton of flavors. I wanna try a lot of the different flavors, but today we're just gonna do one. It's the date and almond flavor. For my date and almond baked rice balls, I have this time 2 cups of the rice and 3 cups of water, just cooked in my Instant Pot, just like last time. And in a food processor, you're gonna take your flavor combination of the flavor you chose and pulse it in here so it's really, really small, and add it to your rice. My large items for this recipe is just the dates and some almonds. I'm going with salted roasted almonds because I really, really like them. It's just a half a cup of each. Dump it in here and throw it in the rice. I can figure out how to get the lid on. Lid on. No. Okay, I got it. You fixed my bike?
Yeah.
And your bike?
Yeah.
Was there anything in the tire?
Your bike, I couldn't find anything in the tire, but I did find the hole that whatever you hit left.
Really?
Yeah, in the tire and the tube.
You found a hole in the tire? Is the tire gonna be okay?
Tire's okay.
Okay.
But it's got like this little puncture hole, huh?
Dang it! That's a new tire. I think they haven't swept the streets yet. There's crap all over the streets. I can't tell you how much glass I rolled over today. Okay, the last 3 things is just brown sugar, cinnamon, and a little bit of salt. And that is all. 1 tablespoon brown sugar, which is interesting because the other one uses the raw sugar. So why would they switch from a raw sugar to a brown sugar? These are the things I think about. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, so I think a heaping. What do you think, Dave? And 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I'm gonna use this vanilla bean salt. I will now mix all this together and we will make our rice ball shapes. these out of the oven, and I can't really hold them up because the pan is very, very hot. But they kind of look the same. They're just dried out a little bit. So once these cool, we'll give a little taste-a-roo for you. Okay, I have the taste tester here to taste these. Okay, they're still warm. They're not supposed to be warm, but maybe it'd be easier to hold it like upside down.
Is it finger food?
Yeah, it's finger food. What do you think? You like it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
That's really good.
Okay, let me have a bite.
It's not super sweet.
I don't want a whole one.
I agree with you.
Oh, I got something at the end that was like really rich and salty in a good way. Those are really good.
I know.
It's fairly large, actually.
Do we have a rough calorie count?
Take 2 cups of rice and divide it by
I was gonna guess close
14.
to 200. I was gonna guess close to 200 calories, maybe a little more.
You're gonna guess?
Yeah.
Okay, I found them. Wait, I didn't find them. 2,500 calories for the entire batch divided by 14, because it made 14.
2,500 divided by 14 is 178.5714.
I kind of want to eat another one.
You didn't want to eat. You said
I said I didn't want a whole one, but now I'm like, that was actually really tasty.
they're impressive.
They are. They really are.
So, planning out our trip.
Yep.
Totally done.
Yes,
We've got to do
absolutely.
these.
I'm impressed, you guys. Right. Fam says it's a win. It's a total win, you guys. These are good. Recipe down below. That's gonna wrap up my snack video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. My kids are actually very excited to have all of these yummy treats to try. I'm thrilled that the whole rice cake and baked rice ball thing seems like it's going to be working for our endurance sports. If you guys have not subscribed yet, maybe consider hitting that button if you want to catch any other future videos that I do. And if you want to see any of the other cooking videos I've done, click here. And if you want to see any grocery hauls, click here. And if you want to subscribe, I will put that over here for you. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.